We are all clocks with no hands. You're not worried about what's behind you or what is still to come.
I think people are expecting her to go out too hard.
There's some on the bottom too that I was feeling ripping every step.
It was literally the hardest thing I've ever done.
People are expecting her to be under-trained.
I think she's out. I think she's injured.
I walked away last year pretty down, pretty frustrated, upset, pissed at myself. I didn't run for about a month.
Triathlon sort of went in a way where you needed to be crazy fast at swimming. And that was like a thing that Heather struggled with.
Automatically coming from behind, automatically at a deficit. People never believing I could get results. I don't really listen to the outside noise.
Some people would call you crazy, but you did Unbound 200 earlier this month.
Black Canyon wasn't great for you.
20 miles of snow was not going to set her up for a great day.
There's a lot of people out there with opinions, and I don't really honestly give a shit.
You've decided that you're the most interesting person in endurance sports right now.
Yes. And I think they're also expecting her to be undertrained because, oh, she's gravel racing. How can you possibly do that?
Well, your first 50K, you take home a victory. Tell us about it.
For me, it was always prove them wrong.
Race day Saturday, she's going to show people how you do that.
It's undeniable you belong.
Heather Jackson on your screen right there.
Clock, I lost so much time.
Nope. Again, you gotta remember Heather Jackson in a pre-race interview said, I don't care if it's a silver buckle or a bronze buckle, I'm getting a buckle.
That's gonna make the reel.
Focus.
Dude, we're back.
Yeah, I was here last year. It was my first Western States ever.
And begin the beautiful downhill journey.
The goal coming into this sport 6 months prior was to get to this race. I raced my first trail race at Javelina 8 months prior. I mean, at the time, I thought I was prepared. I really did. Looking back now, a year later, I see how underprepared I really was. About 40 miles into the race, took quite a tumble. It was probably my 5th or 6th of the day. Ended up injured, concerned I was doing further damage. Had to call it a day.
Well, the hamstrings went, and I thought I ripped it off.
I took the DNF pretty hard. I'm really not someone that DNFs. That was probably one of the biggest lessons my mom drilled into us growing up. Like, you don't quit. You might not get back in. You might not get another chance. And I knew it was gonna be a tough journey back. It literally just sparked the motivation to get back here this year. The wheels started turning on my plan forward the next day, if not that night. I decided, okay, Western States is the goal again. I need to get back there. I need to finish that race. I knew Javelina 100 was a golden ticket race yet again. It's a course that I knew I could perform on.
You know you're running extremely fast.
Gratefully, I was able to execute there and get a golden ticket. So then the mindset shifts to, okay, I've got 8 months. What's it gonna take to show up there actually ready? It's not great to stay on.
You like the brim size? You want more curve to it?
So nice.
Yeah, I feel like it felt very natural for Heather to make this transition, and I don't know if it was ever a definitive, like, okay, I'm retired from triathlon and I'm starting this.
I think Heather and I were really on the same page about what it would be like to go do trail running and what it would be like to just race gravel. It worked out really nicely that the racing didn't happen and we couldn't go to pools anyway, and gravel started taking off and ultra running started taking off.
She's had really immediate success with it, which was no surprise to me. For triathlon, she would always do a lot of hours, a lot of really gritty stuff, and I think that is really what has made her so good in this world. For her to go and have a completely different career in a parallel world is really exciting to watch. feel like I don't even notice when Heather has challenges or setbacks because she's so positive. And I know she faces them just like any athlete, but she approaches them with such positivity and optimism that from the outside it looks like she's got it all under control. And I think that's what the best athletes do. Her and Wadi are such a good team. And Wadi's so invested in Heather as an athlete. That is so critical to the equation. I know how big of a role he plays in supporting her, not just on the race course, but like emotionally every day, and making it so that she can just train and focus on her work and do a good job at it.
I've color-coded everybody. So we've got crew number 1, Becca and Paula. When start goes off and they run away and you're like, yay. Crew number 2, Paul and Robbie, your station, going all the way down to the river to extract Heather out of the water.
My husband Wadi has kind of been crew chief of all the trail races I've done so far. He organizes everything. Yeah, I mean, this is an individual sport. I am the one running, but it is the furthest from an individual sport. The crew and support and team that makes this possible is next level. Especially at an event like this, Western States, where it's a point-to-point course and the aid stations that crew can be at. It's a journey in itself. I'm just so grateful to have the team I have around me. Saturday wouldn't even be possible without all of them.
Looking back on it, last year we were entering the unknown. Heather and I laughed because we had thought we did our homework for the race.
It's just funny thinking back on what I would have done differently. I didn't run what this course is like in my training. And so for the last 7 months, I would say 99% of my runs have been on technical trails. My footwork, where I'm placing my feet, where I'm scanning the trail, that's what I needed to have done to be prepared for this.
This entire year feels so different. Heather's approach to everything, I mean, the attention to detail, the attitude, sheer focus and drive to come back to this event better.
The approach I came into this year was Unbound and Western States, and it might sacrifice a little bit on the cycling side. That's what needs to happen to be ready for June. Yeah, to note Unbound and that came together this year, yeah, it was a dream come true to be able to be up there in that front group and execute how I believed I could if everything went right.
Good morning and welcome to the 2024 Western States 100, broadcasting live from the track here at Placer High School.
Heather's been racing for, 15 plus years, and this event, I would say, is probably the single most largest, craziest event that we have ever been to. She's sort of like this kid in a candy store. It's like a rebirth in her athletic career.
Is now taking both the gravel and trail ultra world by storm.
Success for Western States this year is making it to the track. I don't care how I get there, how long it takes me, I will get onto that track.
No matter what happens, it's going to be a win for her. There's nothing to lose. There's everything to gain. And who knows where this will take us.
We feel good this year. Big learning year last year, and we are dialed. She's dialed. You guys, love you!
3 minutes back of Emily Hoggood, 8 minutes under Courtney DeWalter's split. Heather Jackson also on historical pace here. A big smile from Heather.
Heather Jackson, your current 6th place female, making her way into this aid station. I love this. Heather F6, Ida F7, 20 seconds from each other in the river crossing.
We'll see you soon. Love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, the final mile was just the best. We did it. We're gonna make it to the track together. Getting there was only possible because of them. It definitely feels like the weight has been lifted. I finished Western States. I'm getting a Western States belt buckle. And I have a cowboy hat to go with it.
In 7th, Heather Jackson.
Western States is the biggest race in the United States and have wanted to see what I can do here. As someone that's so new to this sport, there's so many events out there that I want to try. And yeah, I mean, I think the European version of this race is UTMB. It's one of the biggest, hardest, most epic trail races out there over in Europe. And it's something I want to try.